Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, good Tuesday morning to you. Time for Charleston Talk Show, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, the voice of Charleston, WCHS for the Par-Bar Store Studio, brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group. The boss, Dale Cooper, is our producer today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We are brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville. Drive home and a 2024 Ford Escape, 2.9% APR for up to 72 months, plus a $1,000 trade assist rebate. Must qualify for all offers through Ford Financial. See Thornhill for all details. And we do the show from the Par-Bar Store Studio. If there's not a Par-Bar store near you now, there will be soon. Phone calls to the show, a service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Visit bestmastertaylor.com. Breaking news as we get ready to go on the air. The governor of Minnesota, Governor Walz, has been picked by Kamala Harris to be her vice presidential running mate. So kind of a surprise there from a lot of people. And again, this just broke like in the last 5-10 minutes or so. A lot of people thought it would be Governor Shapiro. Andy Beshear's name was thrown out there, but it is going to be Governor Walz, W-A-L-Z. Not the way we spell it in West Virginia, but W-A-L-Z. Walz from Minnesota will be Kamala Harris's running mate. So, if you want to weigh in on that, send me a text. You're welcome to do that. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Lots to get to this morning. Rod Blackstone is going to join us in the second segment. The Toast Man from the Charleston Dirty Birds tonight at Gomart Ballpark. It's African American Heritage Night, and there's some big things. Actually, some things started last night, I think, with that. So we're going to talk to the Toast Man about that. Also tonight is National Night Out. And the Charleston Police Department, of course, always involved in that. Lieutenant David Payne from the Police Department will join us to talk about that. Plus, your calls and texts are welcome, too. I want to welcome into the show now Kanawha County Commissioner, not chosen as Kamala Harris's running mate, Ben Salango. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Surprised by that pick?
Yes. I
in a word, yes.
So when you and I walked into the room and you said, "Oh, she picked her running mate, Walz," and I said, "Who's that?" I didn't realize he was on the list. I honestly thought it was going to be Shapiro, and I thought I wanted it to be Andy Beshear, but I didn't think that would be enough.
Most lists had him in the top 5 that I saw. There were some other names being floated out there, but yeah, it's Governor. It kind of surprised me. I mean, like I said, I was walking down the stairs, got an alert on my phone, and the minute I get in here, I turn on the TV, and that's what we see.
I'd like to see what the strategy is. I'm sure when I leave here, I'll read about it, and it'll make sense at that point.
I'm sure you'll have a phone call waiting on you, sir, when you get back at your office.
Probably not.
What does Salango think?
No, nobody cares what I think.
I want to focus on a couple of things with you this morning, sir. I want to start with Shawnee. Last week, there was some work, I understand, there's always work going on out there, some sort, but yesterday there was, and social media buzz, what's going on? So give us a little summary of some things that have been going on recently.
So two things going on right now. I mean, obviously we wanted to address the security concern, the security issue following the shooting near the ballpark. It wasn't in the ballpark.
Right.
Although, when I first got the call, they said it was actually in the ballpark and that there were bullets ricocheting off of the bleachers. That turns out to be not true, but that was the first call that I received. But so the shooting happened about 2 blocks away, but what it created was a panic and people running for the fences, some of which were locked. Mm-hmm. So what we did is we went back, we did we had a review a couple days later. Everybody down there had been trained on, active shooter drills. We've had training on how to get people out of the facility, and we do it all the time when there are weather problems. I mean, if there's lightning, we actually have to remove everyone from not just what I call the soccer side, but also the baseball side. They have to actually go to their cars. You can't just sit out there in the open. So, we have a lot of experience in getting people out of the park, but not like that. That was different. And
different animal.
What we wanted to do was go in and replace some of the gates and add new gates. So there are emergency exit bars, kind of like you'd see in a school. You can push the bar and the door opens, but yet it locks from the outside. So we want people to be able to get out in the case of an emergency, but we don't want people who are outside who might be wanting to come in and cause trouble to be able to get in. So we've done that. McNeil Fence has worked with us. I think they finished up last week installing those emergency bars. And so we have those in place now. We're also working on an expansion of the entrance building. ZMM did the design. We're going to break ground on it on Thursday. What we've done there, when we did the Welcome Center, it was about 2,500 square feet. The restroom capacity was limited. Shawnee, we knew it would be successful. We didn't know how successful it would be. In the last 6 years, it's generated $130 million in economic impact. And so what we saw when we had these large tournaments, including 5 out of the last 6 years, we've hosted the largest tournament in the East Coast, which is the U.S. Youth Soccer Eastern Regional Tournament. We've had that there at Shawnee and also at Barbersville. But we had long lines at the restrooms. We had long lines at concessions. In fact, when we had big tournaments, we couldn't even use the concession building. We had to set up a separate stand, if you will. That doesn't really do it justice. We had a bunch of tables under gigantic tent. And so what we wanted to do was apply for some grants, and if we were able to get the grants, that we would expand that building. And so we're going from a 2,500 square foot building to a 12,000 square foot building. Shouldn't have lines in the restroom, shouldn't have lines there anymore. It's going to have a commercial kitchen. It's going to have meeting space for referees, for coaches. There's going to be an observation deck. It is a significant upgrade. And thankfully, Senator Manchin came through and Governor Justice came through. We were able to get about $4 million. So 80% of it is funded through federal and state grants.
And in doing some of the reading, things on social media, that's one of the, I don't want to say criticisms of the Shawnee, but it's been one of the concerns. I'll put it that way.
No, it's a criticism, and it's a deserved criticism, quite frankly, because when we designed that building, and I take responsibility for it, I didn't think we needed restrooms that look like Mountaineer Field, but we do. So we've got to have expanded restrooms. We've got to have expanded concessions. And even though, the building's only 6 years old and we have to expand it now, we wanted to listen to what people are saying. We get criticisms all the time. I mean, the place is not perfect. It never will be perfect. But, as long as I'm around, I'm going to try to make it perfect. I will fail in that effort. But, we had, if you look out at the 40 acres of grass area, it looked like a cow pasture, quite frankly. And so we've made significant upgrades out there as well. And we have some of the nicest grass fields in the state of West Virginia. And quite frankly, except for a few in Ohio, some of the best on the East Coast. I mean, it's really, with what we're able to work with, I mean, we can't really grow Bermuda grass all the time. So with what we have to work with, those are outstanding fields. USU Soccer came in and gave us some ideas on what we could do to improve to keep getting their tournaments. And, those suggestions were well received, and we want to keep bringing those in, because every time we bring in the President's Cup, for instance, it's an $8 million economic impact. When we bring in the big tournament, which is the Eastern Regional, it's a $24 million economic impact over 5 days, which is tremendous. So we want to keep upgrading the facility. If you're sitting still, then people are passing you by. And we don't want that to happen.
Talking to Kanawha County Commissioner Ben Salango, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. Are you interested in improving your company's IT workforce? You're going to want to know Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap. Bridge Valley trained for little or no cost, 50-50 salary match available. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. All right, so the commission and others a little bit bothered by power bills.
A little bit bothered is an understatement.
What's up with that?
And I think Chris Lawrence did a great job. If you pull up their Metro News, and then Mike Toney, of course, in the Gazette Mail, kind of outlined all of the different rate increases. And of course, Appalachian Power says, we haven't had a rate increase. It's a $265 million rate increase that they've requested. They say, we haven't had a base rate increase since 2018. But if you actually go back and look at what they've done, they don't call it a base rate increase, but every single possible thing they can ask for a rate increase, they come in and ask for it. And they always ask for a lot more than they want, thinking that the PSC, the Public Service Commission, will kind of meet them in the middle, or, and it's unaffordable. Mike Tony's article, I know you've got it on your desk over there, but it even cites that West Virginia has had 90% increase in its utilities since 2005. 90%. So it's almost doubled. Everything's doubled over the last, say, 20 years. And there's no end in sight. And what we have, and I give a lot of credit, former Commissioner Carper used to raise hell about these rate hikes. He would go up and he would testify, and so we're going to keep that going. We can't if we just sit by and let this happen, it's going to slide through, and nobody's going to notice until you get your first bill. And so I know I spoke with Commission President Lance Wheeler yesterday, and we intend to oppose that. Commissioner Slotnick, we're going to do everything we can. There's a public hearing coming up. We'll either submit testimony or we'll appear in person. You can make public comment, and that's what we need to do. We've got to make sure that we stand up and fight these utility increases, because it's just adding up over and over and over. And they can come up with creative ways to call it, even if it's not a base rate increase, it's a fuel surcharge, or it's an environmental increase. And but they just did one, and it was $37 million just got approved. And so within the last few weeks, and now they're doing another one. And it's just continuous. It's unaffordable. It's simply not sustainable.
Commissioner, have you looked at, or the commission or anybody looked at other states? I mean, totally
Yes.
unrelated, that aren't regulated and don't use Appalachia. Have you looked at Montana or Texas or Kansas, or fill in other states there?
Yeah.
How are we in line with those states?
So, the way that they calculate those increases is, or the way that we judge us compared to other states, it's a little bit different. It's basically per capita, and we're going up a lot faster than others. A lot faster than others. In fact, one of the articles that I read this morning said that ours had gone up second fastest in the nation. Only one other state was being increased more than us. And of course, the parent company, AEP, has reported $25 billion in profit over the last 24 months. So it's not like they're hurting from money. $25 billion in profit, and yet we're just continually getting these rate increases.
Me and knock out a couple texts here. Text says, how much, going back to Shawnee, how much do the updated fence gates cost? Also, tell the truth. The gates don't open from the outside because you don't want people getting in for free, not to stop bad actors from getting in. Why are we building a brand new building? Seems like that building was a waste of taxpayer money.
Yeah, disagree on that. First
of
all,
the vein pops out on his head, but go ahead.
No, there's no vein on my head. It might be wrinkles. So we generally don't charge admission at Shawnee. And so, I read that before someone commented, we're just trying to keep people out from paying. That's not true. I would say 95% of the events there's not a gate charge. I think football, sometimes when they have football teams, but Shawnee does not charge a gate. So, but if we rent out the facility, sometimes the tournament directors will charge a gate, but Shawnee doesn't charge a gate. Most of the things that we have there are absolutely free. So number one, that's untrue. What did the gates cost? I think it was around $20,000 to $30,000, but don't quote me on that. We'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
Because we added new gates also. There was a long stretch, particularly over in the grass area, where you could walk for days and not find a gate. I mean, because that's a big area. So if you walk along the West Virginia state side, there were no gates over there you could exit that way. You'd actually have to walk all the way around, down by the river, and around to the front where the shooting, where the shooting happened to get out. And so we fixed that. Now, we didn't have anybody trying to climb those gates over in the grass, but because we were fixing the others, we said we need to go ahead and do it. The first building, they asked about the cost. I think the first building, if I'm not correct, if I'm correct, was around $400,000. This new building is going to be $5 million. Again, 80% of it funded with grants.
Okay. Text says, can Commissioner Salango work with the county parks folks to look into adding a first responder and military discount at Coonskin and Big Bend golf courses? Little Creek offers a discount, which is managed by South Charleston, not the county. Would like to play the county courses, but have to stay within limits of my humble golf budget, says the text.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. Yes, I will send an email. Commissioner President Wheeler is on the Parks Board. I will text him when I leave.
All right. Text says, utilities should be nonprofit, period. Appalachian Power bragging about record profits in one breath and wanting the increase of the next. Why doesn't the PSC throw that back in their face?
Well, I think they do. In fairness, I think the PSC does, but I think that a lot of times, the PSC doesn't want to completely outright deny a request, because then they also want improvements to the infrastructure. And so they're kind of in a catch-22. The problem is there's just so many requests. There's so many. It's over and over and over. And at some point, you've got to draw the line. And yes, they do brag to their shareholders. AEP brags to the shareholders about record profits and how much the shares are increasing and dividends and all these great things. And that's fine. I'm all about that. But you can't then just come in front of the PSC and poor mouth it and say, oh, we need an extra $265 million. Just don't call us out on the fact that we had $25 billion in profit over the last 24 months.
Yeah, left. Don't look at what the right hand's doing.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap it up, but I want you to give me about 60 seconds. What is the latest on the not so Capital Sports Complex, because we can't call it that? We understand parking garage situation, so on and so forth. Give me about 60 seconds.
So the latest is we are meeting to go over the final design. As soon as that is done, I think that's going to happen this week. We go into the architectural part, where people a lot smarter than me are going to sit down and design this thing. And then we start construction. So that's where we are.
Okay. Parking garages. I know the mayor touched on it a little bit yesterday, but
parking garages are not in our possession. That's where I'll leave it right now.
End of story.
And I will tell you that the mayor and I spent a year and a half working on this, trying to get everything within our possession. But we so far have not been successful.
Okay, when you say you're so far not been successful, is it dead in the water, or is there something that could happen in the future?
I can't predict the future,
okay.
But I'm always looking. I know the mayor's always looking, but right now we've got to move forward with what we have. I'm not going to delay the project anymore. We need to move forward.
Kanawha County Commissioner Ben Salango, appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
For having me.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Poor indoor air quality can cause a variety of health issues. They use a 4-phase assessment for all your properties: inspection, sampling, and analysis, comprehensive reporting, and management planning. You can visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. We're going to head to the ballpark with Rod Blackstone coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
Welcome to Poca Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
Dreaming of updating your home's interior? Let the expert design team at Nitro Carpet and Design Center bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking to revamp your kitchen or bathroom with new cabinets, countertops, and appliances, or you're interested in transforming your floors with updated carpet, tile, hardwood, or luxury vinyl tile, Nitro Carpet Outlet has everything you need. For sales and installation, visit Nitro Carpet today and see how they can help turn your home into a showstopper that'll impress your friends and family. Conveniently located just off the Cross Lanes exit.
Red, white, and vroom! Gear up for incredible savings at Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Hey, it's Sydney, and right now at Thornhill, you can drive home a new 2024 Ford Escape with 2.9% APR for up to 72 months. Plus a $1,000 trade assist rebate. Shop online anytime at thornhillford.net or visit us on US 119 in Chapmanville. Discover why Thornhill Ford Lincoln is your ultimate destination for unbeatable deals and exceptional service on the road to total savings. Must qualify for all offers through Ford Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
926, Dave Allen Show and 580 Live is brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues, heart disease, diabetes, and more. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs, preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles and beyond West Virginia. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WVMetronews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The boss, Dale Cooper, is producing today. Rod Blackstone is here. Good morning, sir. Will you please turn to your left and wave at Dale Cooper?
Oh,
because
hey, Coop. How
he's
you
been
doing?
waving at you,
sorry,
and you're in your own little world over here. You know, Coop just turned 50.
Wow,
the big 5-0.
I've got a lot more on you, but that's okay. Well, welcome to late middle age.
Hey, I'm already taking advantage of my ARP discount, so I'm good to go.
Oh, I'm a member.
Man, I can't. You're old, dude.
And I'm older. Be careful.
Well, no, I'm older than he is. So
okay.
I know. I don't look it. I know that's what you're thinking.
Clearly.
Anyway, all right. So tonight over at the ballpark, it's African American Heritage Night. Rod Blackstone is with us. Rod, good morning. Welcome to the show. But before we get to tonight, let's talk about what happened last night. You had some activities over there last night as well.
Well, last night, August 5th, 2024 was the actual 5th anniversary of the first time we did this, which was Monday, August 5th, 2019. First time any sports organization in West Virginia, to our knowledge, did a celebration of African Americans. And so sort of the 5th anniversary celebration, the committee that's led by Jennifer Farr, the city councilwoman, and Shantae Ellis from the YWCA's Center for Racial Equity and Inclusion, and Chanel Collins, who is with the Partnership for African American Churches, they said, well, a long time ago, let's do something special. Tim Brady heard Roberto Clemente Jr. speak at a function he was at, and he said, oh, this guy will be great. It's a great connection. As Roberto Clemente Jr. pointed out last night, if you look at the foundation of our DNA, he goes back to the Congo. And we all go back probably to Mesopotamia in some way or another. So he tied it together, not just a Latino for African American Heritage Night. And also his dad was subjected to a lot of discrimination in Pittsburgh, which I learned more about having grown up outside of Pittsburgh. Of course, I love Roberto Clemente. That was some of the first.
It's required there, right?
It is now, but I'll tell you what. When he was playing in the late 50s and early 60s, they were very derisive about his language skills. Now, I am convinced, as a unilingual person who's tried to learn other languages.
I'm doing good with English.
Well, I'm not even doing that sometimes. But some of the smartest people are the ones who have to learn two different languages, and that happens to a lot of Latino players as they come here. I know Edison Suriel on our baseball team is from the Dominican Republic. He taught himself effectively to learn English as he had started up through the affiliated system. And now he's pretty fluent in both English and Spanish. I'm thinking, wow, he's smarter than I am. To be able to turn on a dime in the middle of a sentence. Yeah. Sometimes he'll be on the phone with his wife in the middle of a sentence and then turn to me and start talking English because he knows I have no idea what to do.
Blows my mind when I hear that.
But so Roberto had to undergo some of that transitional bigotry.
I watched a documentary not long ago about the life. I watch a documentary on anybody, but I watched a documentary about the life of Roberto Clemente, and a little before my time, but I do remember, he still was on everybody's minds in the 70s when I was growing up, mid-70s, I guess. And I just assumed he was this universally loved person in Pittsburgh because I had friends where I had coworkers that were from Pittsburgh and they talked about him in glowing terms. But not that he had a lot of issues with the media and with the fans in Pittsburgh, in the city he was playing in.
And he was a pioneer. He was a pioneer in many ways because he was one of the most prominent Latino baseball players that started sort of emerging as a superstar and realizing, oh, wow, there's some talent down there, too, that we need to look at and that we need to bring in. So he bore the brunt. Not quite like Jackie Robinson. I mean, the way Jackie Robinson was treated was despicable by a lot of the fans. But Roberto was hardly welcomed with open arms as he was becoming the superstar and the humanitarian, which ended up getting him killed.
Yeah, that's what he was doing when the plane crashed. So that was last night. What do you got going on tonight?
Well, this afternoon.
By the way, congratulations I'm going to give you a big props on the jersey there. That's a sweet looking Grays. Is that Grays?
Homestead Grays. This was from African American Heritage Night number 3. Whenever we had our players wearing the Homestead Grays uniforms or jerseys, and
probably the most successful Negro League team. in your opinion?
I think so, and also the one that is sort of closest and most prominent for this area. Because Kansas City Monarchs, you can make that argument, and that's where they have a museum honoring the Negro Leagues. But we have 5 years, effectively, of promoting African-American heritage and being able to reach out to a segment of the population that is largely underrepresented. Now, when you and I were growing up, and Coop, of course.
Now that he's old like us.
Now that he's older. Now that he's reached that age. Some of the best African-American athletes were choosing baseball. Bob Gibson, Dave Winfield, Dave Parker, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey. They're choosing baseball. That doesn't happen as much anymore. So one of the things we're doing today is to have a clinic that reaches out to folks and kids in the community to say, hey, think about baseball. And thanks to the YWCA, we're giving them gloves so they might be introduced to baseball. And who knows, maybe we'll get to the next Lou Brock or Willie McCovey that comes through. But anyway, so that's today. And then tonight, the big show starts. Now, we got to put up with the heat. But there's going to be some hot talent on the field, too, and a hot team that's in first place, by the way, too, at this point, because the Dirty Birds are a game up in first place in the Northern Division or the Southern Division for the second half championship. But tonight, Kid of the Great, who has 4.2 million followers on Instagram and is
roughly what you do.
Yeah, I might have 4.2 followers. And he's going to be there as entertainment. Shalem, we're also celebrating local talent. Shalem, Garden, and also Zeno's before the game as well. And so we'll have a commemorative ticket that people can exchange their main ticket for a commemorative ticket that's a 5th anniversary celebration. So it's going to be a really big deal. We've got all kinds of community organizations that are going to be out there at the ballpark supporting the cause too. But we'll be in left field. Gates open at 5. Entertainment starts at 5:30. And we'll also have some players that'll come out. And we're having the clinic principally. The clinic that happens this afternoon was sort of a brainchild of Roberta Smith. Reverend Roberta Smith is head of the Charleston Black Ministry Alliance. Years ago, when she was more actively involved in the committee, she said, we need to reach kids in the community and get them excited about baseball. So now that we have P.J. Phillips and Rob Carson, African-American leadership on our team on the field, this made the perfect year to do that. So it's going to be a great night, and it's going to be it will be a hot night, but we're trying to get the kids out. It's in addition to talking about African-American heritage, which was the foundation that we started on, For the Kids, for the Future has been the theme for the last 3 years, because as you look back, you still need to look to the future. And the kids are our future, to be able to celebrate the heritage of African Americans in our community, in baseball, and all the different ways that a whole lot of different people have made our community greater over the years and baseball greater over the years, and being able to pass that on to the next generation of potential baseball fans and or baseball players. Last year we had about 4,000 people. It wasn't quite this hot. And it's a great community celebration. It's where we come together and we look like a community, and we bask in the glow of baseball, of universal language, especially if you ask James Earl Jones / Terrence Mann.
Exactly. You're talking to Rod Blackstone from the Dirty Birds. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. You mentioned the youth. Why is it so important that that they learn about this history? And you mentioned Mr. Phillips, who's the manager of the Dirty Birds, and he was introduced. I've had him on the show. I was over at the ballpark when he was introduced. Nobody thought a thing about it. 30, 40 years ago, having a black manager would have been, maybe a little bit more than that, would have been very significant. Now we're getting to the point where it's not anymore, which is a good thing.
It's a
much better thing. Mm-hmm. I remember hearing, I think it was James Harris, who was a quarterback for the Rams or Chargers in the early mid 70s, saying, "I long for the day when I'm not a black quarterback. I'm just a quarterback." And
exactly.
Nobody talks about that. But for the young people, why is it important for them to learn about the Negro Leagues and learn about the struggles of African Americans, Latinos, anybody non-white getting in to baseball?
I would argue that should be the way it is in all of society. I think we need to learn a whole lot more about where we've been, especially as it relates to race. I am part of the dominant demographic of the United States history: white, Protestant, male, property owner. And so I recognize that that has been the dominant demographic. But I think when we have been great as a country is whenever we've been able to embrace that the melting pot does not just look like cream of potato soup. And so,
good way to put it.
And so I think what we need to do is learn more about why did the Negro Leagues have to exist in the first place? Because people were excluded. And one of the things that baseball has done better and been a forerunner of society, if you think about Jackie Robinson in that time frame, was to become more inclusive. And as you become more inclusive, I think you broaden the breadth of talent. There's so many people that I know, and I've been blessed to know, that don't look like me, don't live like me, don't believe exactly like I do, don't even vote like I do necessarily, who I have learned so much from. And so I think that's what we need to do as a society more, is to be able to embrace the differences among us and learn from each other. If we continue to be surrounded just by our horizons, and don't decide to look outside of our horizons, we'll become less passionate, less involved, less creative, less intelligent people. And so that's one of the things we're trying to say to people. Yeah, we're having these special nights like African American Heritage Night, Pride Night, Women Making a Difference Night, that are aimed at reaching out to underrepresented segments of the population and have them know that they're welcome at the ballpark, have them know that they are welcome there, and that we are going to include as many people as we can so we can move forward, learn together, live together, grow together is what it really comes down to. And especially as I've learned more and more about African American history in the last 4 years, honestly, I think there's a lot of work we have to do in that regard.
Rod Blackstone, the Dirty Birds, give us the quick timeline again for the night. Give me 30 seconds on the timeline for tonight.
Okay, gates open at 5 o'clock. Entertainment starts at 5:30 out under the left field canopy, and then the game starts at 6:30 with a little bit of stuff happening on the field, including the combined anthems. And the first place team takes the field at 6:35.
Stay hydrated. It's going to be hot.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have lots of water on hand.
All right. Rod Blackstone, appreciate you being here. 22 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live, brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Mays Agency. They now offer small business insurance for the 4 major carriers: Hartford, Travelers, Progressive, and Next. Call or stop by and see John and Sherry Mays today. 3860 Tays Valley Road, Suite 1 in Hurricane, 304-814-2509, or visit brightwaymays.com. National Night Out is tonight. Lieutenant David Payne from the Charleston Police Department joins us next. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
Hey, it's Dave Allen for Parmar Stores. And now that the warm weather months are here, you know where you need to be, your local Parmar store. Heading to the lake, the ball field, or your favorite picnic site, or just working around your place, Parmar has everything you'll need, from gas to grocery, snacks, and much, much more. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wow, it feels like summer just started, but time sure is flying by, and before you know it, school will be back in session. This school year, Members Choice West Virginia can help you check off everything on your school shopping list with a back-to-school loan. Now through August 31st, you can get all the school supplies you need with a back-to-school loan of up to $1,500 with rates as low as 7.99% and up to 12 months to pay back. Apply today at 201 Ohio Avenue in Charleston or visit MCWV online at memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
Parents of high school juniors and seniors, discover the Wynn Academy at Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. This unique charter school offers an accelerated program for students passionate about nursing or advanced manufacturing. Students can start college courses in their junior year, graduating high school with their first year of college completed, all for free. With hands-on experience and personalized attention, students are just 1 year away from finishing their college degree after high school. Save on college costs and get a head start at the Wynn Academy at Bridge Valley.
From handmade pizzas with fresh dough to hamburgers, Viv's Pizza has everything you need for a delicious meal. And they're this week's 50-50 Friday. Don't miss the always popular Blue Creek Special Pizza with ham, pepperoni, pepper jack cheese, banana peppers, tomatoes, and onions. Located at 109 Creed's Landing in Elkview behind the Go Mart. Online at VivsWV.com. Friday at 9 a.m. Go to WCHSnetwork.com and click the 50-50 Friday button to get 50% off gift certificates for Viv's Pizza, courtesy of the WCHS family of networks.
19 away from 10, Special Olympics embodies the true spirit of sportsmanship, not merely about winning medals. It's about being a part of a team, practicing and competing together. The joy and fulfillment derived from these experiences are immeasurable. Athletes find their confidence and self-worth through the shared pursuit of victory. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics, Facebook.com/580WCHS. Biggly Piggly Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Tonight's police departments from around the nation are getting together for the annual National Night Out. Lieutenant David Payne from the Charleston Police Department joins us now. Lieutenant, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So what exactly is National Night Out?
Well, National Night Out Against Crime is basically we come together with the community to show our support and to share information about the crimes in your neighborhood, how to report them, and just to get to know each other. And
this event's been going on for how long? I mean, it's several decades, right?
Well, yeah, it actually started in 1984 in Philadelphia.
And I know that, as I said, there are police departments and communities coming together across the nation, and even here in the Kanawha Valley. Charleston is not the only one that's involved in this. There's several communities that are doing it within their walls of their community. Correct.
This takes place every year, the first Tuesday in August. And it's just everyone gets together to show their support, and basically hopefully we can fight this crime thing we have.
So tell us specifically for Charleston what's going to be going on tonight.
So tonight our festivities are going to kick off at 5 o'clock at Orchard Manor. There's going to be an introduction, a little talk, and then we have actually a first responder parade that's going to take place at 5:30. You'll hear the fire trucks, the police cars, motorcycles, sirens, those kind of things, and we're going to basically parade around the neighborhood, and then we're going to come back to Orchard Manor, and that's when all the festivities will actually take place at 6 o'clock. We have several going on throughout the community. We have at Orchard Manor, Carroll Terrace, we have Washington Manor, Garrison Avenue, 900 block of 6th Avenue, and South Park. At these places, we'll have food, we'll have music, we'll have backpack giveaways, family resources will be there. Just a lot of good times, really good times coming together. We'll have police officers at each location just to talk to the neighbors and really getting them involved with each other also, and letting them know if you see something, say something, and how to do it, and really just coming together as a community.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented in part by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton and General Lumber of Winfield. For all projects, big and small, shop locally. Visit generalhardwarewv.com. And I think, Lieutenant Payne, you probably hit the nail on the head there with the communication that goes on between these communities and their police. And again, this is not necessarily just a Charleston thing. It could be anywhere. Any time people see police in their neighborhood, they think it's a bad thing. And I guess the whole idea here is to say, look, these are your friends. It's not a bad thing that you have police in the neighborhood.
Oh, correct. Without neighbors, we couldn't do the things that we do. They help us out a lot, and we help them out a lot. But really just showing that, yes, we are people. We enjoy coming out to the community and seeing everyone, and we're not only there when bad things happen.
Weather looks good. As I was just talking to Rod Blackstone about the events going on at the ballpark tonight, weather looks good, but, man, it is going to be hot. Stay hydrated. You're going to have plenty of drinks out there, right?
We are. We're going to have drinks, food, music, just a really good time. Come out and see us.
All right. Lieutenant David Payne, you do great things in the community, my friend. Always great to talk to you. We'll talk again soon. National Night Out. It starts at what time again?
It starts at 6 o'clock.
Okay. All right.
The parade starts at 5:30 at Orchard Manor.
All right. Parade starts 5:30 at Orchard Manor. I appreciate you being here, man. Good luck with everything. Stay cool out there, okay?
Thank you.
Lieutenant David Payne from the Charleston Police Department. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Husson's. This month is your favorite Husson's pizza. Get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, only $23.99. All right, so, man, I got a lot of things I'm shuffling here. Hoppy Kirchville coming up at 10:06 with Metro News Talk Line from the Encove Insurance Studios in the Dale Miller Building in Morgantown. The now banned Brad McElhenney, #FreeBrad, with even more financial issues for the governor. Lead story posted this morning, WVMetroNews.com. Every day it seems like it's something different. This is an additional story to the Greenbrier story from last week. It's posted, WVMetroNews.com. And again, Brad, hashtag free brag, will be on with Hoppy, top of the show, to talk about that. Also on the show this morning, Higher Education Chancellor Sarah Armstrong Tucker and Noah Smith. Noah Smith is the Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing at West Virginia University. Noah's the guy in charge of the game entertainment at Milan Puskar Stadium. There is a major update to the lighting program at the stadium as we get ready, believe it or not, at the end of the month for Mountaineer football. Noah Smith and Hoppy coming up at 10:06 with Metro News Talk Line. The rest of the show is yours. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Let me knock out a couple of texters here. Texter says, so Cackles, name calling here about Kamala Harris, gets fellow Marxist Tim Walz, the governor who replaced Minnesota's state flag with the Somali-inspired flag appointed for her. Patriots, your chance for our republic's future has never been more clear. Wake the hell up, moderate Democrats. What's wrong with some of you? Look at all these insane videos of what has been happening throughout the UK just over the past week, says a texter. Text says Wall began his political career as a moderate, but as a governor, he's moved to the left. Left will tout growing left to liberals and moderate pass to moderate. 7 hours ago, before the announcement of Jewish Insider, he's Lutheran per vote smart. Okay. Texter says Shapiro is a charter school advocate and has baggage from sexual assault situations. He would have been a terrible choice. Walz is a good choice. Old white guy to appeal to old white people. Doesn't vacate a Senate seat, and Minnesota's doing quite well. Trump and his guy liner wearing woman hater vice president are now looking pretty weird, says a texter. The thing about Shapiro is, and I was actually talking about this off air with somebody a little bit earlier, the thing about Shapiro is while Shapiro seemed to be the front runner in a lot of people's opinion, I think that from Kamala, and I'm not trying to tell her how to run her campaign, but I think from Kamala Harris's standpoint, Shapiro could have been very problematic to the far left of the Democrat Party, because these are, and I don't even know if they're even registered Democrats, but I'm saying if Kamala Harris is going to appeal to the far, I'm not talking about Mike Pushkin, I'm talking about far left of the party, or people that would be likely to vote for Kamala Harris, Shapiro probably not a good choice, because we know about the hatred that is going on in this country now, and you see the protest on the pro-Palestinian protests that are on college campuses, many of them. So from that point, if she's trying to appeal to the far left, Shapiro probably not the best choice. Just my uneducated opinion. Text says, no pool, no parking lot. What else is the Charleston Sports Complex going to leave out of its original plan? Well, it's a fluid plan. Things change. Text says, Ohio recreational cannabis sales start today. How much revenue is West Virginia going to miss out on? I do believe that you will see eventually. I don't know if it'll be during my lifetime, but you are going to see recreational cannabis in West Virginia. I think 100% you are going to see it. Maybe sooner rather than later. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team. Mentioned them earlier, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds beginning that 3-game homestand tonight against Lexington. Again, it is African American Heritage Night. Also, it is $2 Tuesday. $2 tickets, hot dogs, sodas, and popcorn. Tickets, promotion, schedules, and more. Visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
Are you changing jobs or gearing up for retirement? Don't navigate your financial journey alone. At 4th Avenue Financial, we specialize in guiding individuals through life's transitions. From optimizing your retirement savings to managing your investments, we're here to provide expert advice every step of the way. Schedule your free consultation with John Burdett and take control of your financial future today. 4thavenuefinancial.com.
Securities offered through Jenny B. Cole Financial Incorporated. Member FINRA. Advisory services offered through Jenny B. Cole Advisors Incorporated.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stop what you're doing and listen to this. Your God-given freedoms are up for the taking. And those doing the taking are the same people who've sworn to defend your freedom. They think they can control the media, hide the truth, and force their delusions onto your family. You know what they can't take away? Self-reliance, peace of mind. Got water filtration? You should. A charged solar generator? You better. Emergency food on your shelf? Get it now from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is the most trusted name in survival, and for damn good reason, too. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now and save $200 on their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. It delivers over 2,000 calories per day, plus sealed inside practically unpierceable packaging. It lasts up to 25 years. Oh, and did I mention it's delicious? Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and save $200 per kit. Includes fast and free shipping. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
808 from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Jute. For the best in security systems, both your home or business, talk to Jute of Tays Valley, Joot. Visit protectedbyjute.com. The now in his 50s, Dale Cooper, is producing today. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. A little bit different, at least in one segment, a little bit different for tomorrow. Well, first of all, I do want to mention we'll be talking about Girls Night Out, which is going to be held this weekend. Marilee McAuliffe, who's one of the folks involved in that, is going to join us to talk about that on the show tomorrow. But early on in the show tomorrow, we're going to spend some time talking about one of our own here at the Radio Ranch who is flying the coop, Carrie Hudasek. For the morning news, announcing that, of course, she does the morning news and does a fantastic job. She and Chris Lawrence every morning. Carrie's going to be leaving us, her second tour here. And so we're going to spend some time talking with Carrie. Carrie didn't know that yet, by the way, but we're going to spend some time talking to Carrie tomorrow and have her as the first guest on. Somebody should probably tell her that, Coop, that she's the first guest on the show tomorrow. Tomorrow is Carrie's last day with us. Hate to see her go. She's a fantastic talent and a even better person and a fellow cat person, too. So she and I talk cats a lot. But anyway, Carrie will be leaving us. We're going to talk to her on the show tomorrow for one final time. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Text says, why do West Virginia voters care who the Democrats nominate? It's not like they're going to vote for the Democrat. Republicans don't have policies. They only have insults, says a texter. Texter says, Yael Shapiro was seen as too pro-Israel. And going with Kelly would have lost the Dems the Arizona Senate seat, says a texter. Texter says, the texter about the Somali flag is so uninformed, it's almost deliberately stupid. The Minnesota flag wasn't Somali-inspired. Also, nice use of scare tactics. Be afraid of brown people, says a texter. Charleston City Council and pot. If you've heard Charleston Mayor Amy Schuler Goodwin, if you heard her on the show yesterday, she sort of touched on this prior to last night's council meeting. Changes to the city's simple possession law will not be on the ballot for voters in November, as some had hoped. Now, the mayor, speaking on the show yesterday, said that the citizens group that had collected signatures simply didn't have enough. Quote from the mayor yesterday, state code requires there be 10% of all qualified voters, in quotes, qualified there being the key word. Apparently, the group pushing for the change only had about 10% of those who voted, not necessarily qualified. So there were around 1,800 signatures when actually the number is 3,300 that were needed. That's according to the mayor. The mayor did say that some of the issues that the group is pushing for are still under discussion, and there still could possibly be some sort of a city ordinance. Now, the mayor said that city police currently do not put people in jail for simple pot possession, but the wording remains in code. The proposed ordinance is now sitting with the council's Rules and Ordinance Committee. So bottom line is, it's not going to be on the ballot. Some had wanted it to be on the ballot for voters of the city of Charleston come November. It is not going to be on the ballot. It's just kind of in that wait and see mode right now. And this is something that is not seen, and I don't have an opinion on it one way or the other, to be honest with you, but it's not something that is seen as being pro-pot necessarily. It's just trying to bring the city up and trying to get everybody on the same page, because Charleston Police Department, and I'm not a spokesman for the police department, by the way, but based on my conversations with them and with other city officials, they don't want to spend their time locking people up for first offense simple possession. You know, it's an expense, so on and so forth. So that's all they're trying to do here. And so I think there's been some misrepresentation. People have said, "Well, this is all pro pot. You want to have people?" No, that's not what it is. As at all. I understand I just got some insider information here that the committee is going to meet next Thursday on this at 5:00. That's what I understand. So now, if the texter is still listening, so is that this Thursday or next Thursday? You said next Thursday, but I want to make sure we're getting the right date. Is it the 8th or is it the week after? So text me back and let me know that. Text says, note on Minnesota State website, Cass Gilbert is involved and is a representative on the new Minnesota 2024 flag. So Cass Gilbert of the state capitol, Cass Gilbert. Okay. Okay, follow-up text, it is next Thursday, not this Thursday. It will be the following Thursday, says Texter. Texter said, Shapiro is seen as too pro-Israel and going with Kelly. Well, that one just got, okay. Is that the same text? Well, I'll read it anyway. Shapiro is seen as too pro-Israel and going with the Kelly would have lost to Dems the Arizona Senate seat. Bashir might eventually get McConnell's Senate seat, says a texter. Okay. All right. Got a picture here. It says, let's take a look at these flags, shall we? Here you go. Tell me again it's not Somali inspired. Well, I can't tell. I can't show it to the camera. So we don't have the camera. We are going to have cameras, though, but we don't have cameras yet. So there you go. I'll close with this, going to Putnam County. Looks like a new middle school may be getting built. Last night, the Putnam County Board of Education approved a bond to appear on the November election ballot for voters in Putnam to take a look at. State School Building Authority has already signed off on the financial plan for the bond. Story posted, WVMetronews.com. The news department talked to Board President Rob Cunningham and said that some parts are already in motion. It's about a $75 million project, and the primary project here would be a new middle school for Hurricane. There will also be upgrades to other school facilities. Cunningham says the voters will be asked to approve the bond in November. Several schools were involved in this, several facilities all over Putnam County. And again, we have a full story posted about it at WVMetronews.com. And I can say this as a resident of Putnam County, where there is about to be a whole lot more people moving in there, especially when this, and I really haven't had a chance to speak about this, but I do want to at some point. This new housing development that's being built in Putnam County, which is behind where Wendy's is located. It's going to be the largest housing development anywhere around. And so if you're a resident of Putnam County like I am and you complain about traffic, which I rarely do, then get ready, because it's going to double or triple in Putnam County here real soon. But as I always say, that's not a bad thing. There are areas of West Virginia that would kill to have a traffic problem, and we got it, and we're going to get it even more in Putnam County. And I say, bring it on. All right, got to go. Thank you so much to all my guests on the show today, and for my producer, Dale Cooper, the boss, thank you so much. Hoppy Kurtz will coming up with Talk Line at 10:06. Download the all-new Metro News TV app and the WVRC Media app as well. See you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.